Hockey are just not having a great game. Brilliant early. They're not sure how to close it out. Because the way it's going, it's not looking good for their side. And now you can see they go in with the AOG as well. Toby created the separation. Super Paxton, look at the shield on him, man. I don't think he can be stopped. Nice. Astro Echo catches four, but at the same time, they were able to poke down Astra. He has to move away. One Echoes, one Recalls coming through from this Bavaria. Origami bursting them down from an angle, from a distance. They get the snipe onto Nandayo. As Origami is able to find the angle, Toby not looking good, circling eagle. They're committing everything that they can. As now they're looking for the end. It is a 5v4, and the Lord is marching down the mid lane. No inhibitors, no holy defense. Another echo comes through. Professor Black, he is able to poke them down with the Yo-Yo Blitz with the Winter Crown as well. While Sirius, the playmaker, has to clear the waves. There's no way for them to stop this. The Lord comes crashing in. They get a three-man knocked up with the Circle Eagle. AOG to catch three, but they shut down the marksman. Will Ake find the defense? No, they don't. Eternal Oblivion. Take game number one.
Coming crashing in one more time. The Lord has been cleared. Astra goes in, gets a taunt onto Paxi. Circle Eagle comes through with the Pure for AOG to try and create a separation, but he gets melted down. Half HP. Toby's trying to survive. Winter Crown comes in. Astra goes in the middle as well. And I think Oblivion have not found an angle to penetrate down the defenses of Ake.
What a kiting coming in from Ake out here. Had a couple of shots from Astral Recall landed. This was definitely an end of the game though, but what a way to maneuver around all of that. Eternal Oblivion tried everything that they could in that moment, and the way how Ake jiggled because of that poke damage. First it was Cyrus, he went back, then it was Toby jumping in with the AOG, then he went back, then it was Astra who was face tanking everything. That's what they really need to do and not engage on Professor Black. And that if they're able to do that, they'd be able to bring this game back in their back pockets right now. But there we go.
Oh, wait, they're trying to find the angle. AOG once again, but Toby's not able to do much with this impact. And Hangi able to get that kill. Look at them chasing down Professor Black while the fight where Sirius is, along with Astra, and they drop down that big Appraiser's Wrath, able to get him down with the immortality. They're trying to chase him, a Rose Gold Meteor, making sure he's tankier and tankier. And Eternal Oblivion have traded 1-for-1, but Professor Black has done the job. The wave pressure is too much for Ake to deal with. 5 seconds to the Lord. Eternal Oblivion are making their way. They're scared.
That's a big one as well coming in from Eternal Oblivion. Yes, they managed to get one, but Hang staying alive in that fight over with the Bear Crab. That staying alive in that fight over with the Bear Crab. That was the most crucial moment, or rather the pivotal moment out here. Yes, there were a couple of item swaps as well. Wind of Nature swapped up instantly for the Rose Gold Meteor too. I absolutely loved it. And on the back of it now, he's gone in for the Winter Crown yet again, selling out his boots to get a Sea Halberd. This is fantastic performance right now. And Astra, he's being poked down.
You can see already Black Dragon a little too early. I feel like the Lord has been reset. Ake are just not having a great game. Brilliant early. They're not sure how to close it out because the way it's going, it's not looking good for their side. And now you can see they go in with the AOG as well. Toby created the separation. Super Paxi, look at the shield on him, man. I don't think he can be stopped. Nice Astral Echo catches 4, but at the same time, they were able to poke down Astra. He has to move away. What echoes, what recalls coming through from this Novaria. Origami bursting them down from an angle, from a distance. They get the snipe onto Nandayo. As Origami is able to find the angle, Toby not looking good. Circle Eagle, they're committing everything that they can. As now they're looking for the end. It is a 5v4, and the Lord is marching down the mid lane. No inhibitors, no holy defense. Another echo comes through. Professor Black is able to pop them down with the Yo-Yo Blitz with the Winter Crown as well. While Sirius, the playmaker, has to clear the waves. There's no way for them to stop this. The Lord comes crashing in. They get a 3-man knockup with the Circle Eagle. AOG to catch 3, but they shut down the marksman. Will Ake find the defense? No, they don't. Eternal Oblivion take game number 1.
Massive performance from Eternal Oblivion, that too in the late game, when we thought that the Irithel on the other side and the Kimmy will be able to control the entire momentum out there. Man, this was impeccable. Eternal Oblivion stealing that game number 1. You know what? Jackpot Walkie's prediction is still up on board right now, man. It's not out, thrown out the window. And you know what? I don't want to be the bearer of the bad news out here, but I think so. I'm going to be the devil's advocate. I think so. Eternal Oblivion can actually take this one 2-0 if RK continue to make the same mistakes. They had the best chance for the snowball in the mid game with almost what 3,000 goal lead, and then mistakes after mistakes. Nandayo getting caught in off positions, them picking off some of the fights and making some decisions which were really not on board, overextending towards the towers. It was not pretty for RK.
Man, not pretty, yes, but also with the way that Ake had the control of the early game, they had the control of the mid game, they have a late game composition, and they're not able to close out the late game. It's definitely blunders coming in from their side, right? Feels like Professor Black, you know, he studied for a different topic. Just Ake thought it was going to be the same exam every single time. Hey, you got to make sure you're able to close down all of it, right? A plethora of it, not just one or two. You know, they probably learned a couple of subjects, but he's called Professor Black for a reason.
True. That's one of the big things out here, right? I thought maybe with the CC pick, yes. As soon as he was picked off in the early game, I thought maybe it's going to get very difficult for him to pull himself back up. If not just for him itself, also for the entire team of Eternal Oblivion, right? With the snowball that was building up for Ake, it did seem in at least the early phases of the game that this might really be an early 1-0 for Ake, but man, what a tenacity. And regardless of how many times we're going to say Ake made those mistakes, it was Eternal Oblivion to capitalize on them. As soon as they found the opportunity, they quickly grabbed that. And once that was done, they were able to move all the way towards the late game scenario as well. And Hangman out here with the Granger, 7-2-3. He was making sure that he's not dying regardless of a Fredren and a freaking flying dragon on top of him.
A flying dragon on top of it, and you know, man, after a while, bro wasn't hanging around. He was making sure he was hanging around till the end to get that victory on his screen. The player of the game indeed. And with that kind of a performance, I don't know. He had everything going against him in the early game, but hey, just came out on top.
True.
Where was the brilliance scared? Where was the brilliance in the mid game? Everything came in from the late game from Eternal Oblivion, and more than more than less, it was just a lot of mistakes coming in from Ake.
A ton of them, to be honest, if you think about it, right? Yes, there were some early fights which you could clearly see going in their favor, like even in this one. The first couple of turtles, everything was good for Ake, but then it was the third turtle, this exact moment where things started to turn around. The first pick onto Cyrus, yes, there were certain traits hopping in, back and forth. They won that fight, but this overstay, right here, getting caught by everyone, that was the main problem, and this turned the entire game on its head.
Yes, it did. And it's just, I don't know, Scared. How can they let this happen, right? If you've seen oh, what a snipe, man. Origami.
Nasty.
I'm telling you, this guy's folding them like paper, turning them into toys, animals, creatures of his liking. Even though Toby got some good initiations towards the end, the use of the AOG was right to create a separation that was needed. But by God, Eternal Oblivion just know how to divide and conquer. That is what happened in game number 1.
Absolutely. They just made sure that once they got that momentum in their sails, they did not stop at all. And over towards the end here, Nandayo getting picked off as well with that snipe. There's no way for him to dodge that one until and unless he himself anticipates the snipe coming in. And you would never know when a Novaria is ready to snipe you down because she's just not in your field of vision out there, man. Having a look at the stars of the game itself, it's Kyusen for the rich guy, 782 gold per minute for Ake. But eventually Origami becoming the carry for Eternal Oblivion. 165,000 damage dealt on a Novaria. That wishing 65,000 damage dealt on a Novaria. That wishing lantern did came in clutch, I'd have to say.
A wishing lantern, we could see those butterflies fly. You know, sometimes butterflies are pretty. The one definitely wasn't pretty for Astra today. Being the sandbag that he is, my God, he got a lot of those astral recalls hitting his face most of the time. But of course, look at the gold, right? Look at Kusin, 782 per minute. And Paxi as well had a lot of assists for his team. Just unfortunate that it just didn't work out. And even Origami, rather, it worked out for Paxi. And Origami, I'm still stuck with the fact that how could Ake let this slip from their hands, right? That I'm still stuck in that point where I'm thinking like, okay, did Ake not win this game? So
They did
Eternal
not.
Oblivion, with the help of Xian, with the help of Origami and Paxi, especially I've known Xian and Paxi for a while. I've seen their gameplay coming in before as well, and it shows why they have been one of the top players. At least some of the top players in some of the top teams in Europe. Now with a new lineup, they're looking to take this game. They're looking to cement their place in Surge Europe's MEC Fall 2025. Of course, it's a long way to go, Scared, but looking at how it got broken. Now look at the gold. Ake were still ahead until the end.
67,890. Literally just 83 gold ahead. But yes, overall, if you think about it, if you look at this entire game, this was an absolute massacre coming in from the side of Arcade, or rather, Eternal Oblivion over towards that late game. Everything was going good for Arcade until that third turtle, and then every single thing flipped right on top of its head. And here's the big thing, right? You pick up Origami, yeah, that means half of the things were eventually free for you, but a ton of face tanking coming in from Professor and Shien out here in front. Nandayo could not really do anything. Kyusen was also facing a lot of struggles in terms of finding the right target.